Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us to watch this virtual presentation on goal setting with Ms. Joyce Mandel. She is an employment specialist who presents virtual and live interactive workshops for youth and adults. And we have two workshops. Today is goal setting, and next Saturday, April 16th, we'll have customer service skills needed for jobs. And feel free to message us with any some questions or information for Joyce. And I will also be putting resources in the description area for our post on social media. And without further ado, I will introduce Joyce.
Yeah. Thank you, Natalie. Hi, it's very, very nice to be here today. And I appreciate the introduction. And what we're going to talk today is about goal setting. So I'm going to start right away. And I want to welcome you again to the workshop on goal setting. And during this workshop, we will talk about the following: a definition of a goal and what goals create, goal setting tips. I know it's not really the new year, but it's still kind of a new year. 2022 is, kind of just started. Monthly goal ideas, SMART goals, what they are and how to set them up, steps for effective goal setting, why are setting goals important, 6 steps for setting clear goals, motivational goal quotes, and I think Natalie's going to like this, books that are goals trending. So I researched some very good books that you can pick up at your local library. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to go over here is what a goal is. All right, a goal is an idea of the future or desired result that a person or a group of people envision, plan, and commit to achieve. People endeavor to reach goals within a definite time by setting deadlines. Goals create a roadmap for success. Goals are the targets towards which you point your life. Goals give you a starting point and a destination to reach. Writing your goals helps you to clarify what you desire to do, understand the importance of pursuing them, and commit yourself to making them happen. So I think everybody has to have a goal. You have to have something that you want to reach, and then you have to figure out a way of how you're going to reach it. An idea would be maybe losing weight. Maybe, I'll give you an example of a goal that I did years and years and years ago when I first moved to Miami from Boston. I gained a lot of weight in Miami. In Boston, I was great. I don't know, in Miami, I guess it was warm. I ate the ice cream, whatever. And I went from this 110 person to this 130 person very quickly. And I said to myself, oh my God, this can't be. I have to have a goal. I have to decide how I'm going to lose the weight. And I made a strategy where I decided that I was going to lose the weight within 2 or 3 months. And to do that, so I wanted to I created steps for effective goal setting to set my goals and make them happen. And this is kind of how I did it. Okay, so I decided, think of something you want to do or work towards. So my goal was to lose the weight. I think it was 20 pounds. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I might have moved to Miami at 110 and then, and then gained like 20 pounds. So that's what I wanted to work towards. So I decided. Then another really great thing about a goal is to write it down. Because if you write something down, you're going to look at it and it's going to go in your head that you have to do it. And I know, years ago, there were no phones and no social media, blah, 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 so I couldn't put it in my phone. But if you write it down, you are going to look at it and it's going to be in your mind that you're going to do it. Okay, and I write everything down. If you could see my desk now, I have a planning calendar, I have a pad, I have another planning calendar, I have a book that I keep financial stuff in, so I know how much I'm spending on one credit card, so then maybe I'll use another credit card. I write everything down. Okay, so you're gonna decide what you want to work towards. Then you're going to write it down and you're going to put it in front of you. So you're going to see it. And maybe a good thing is to put it on your night table before you go to sleep, or put it on the refrigerator. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to tell someone. In this way, you will then increase the chance of sticking to your goal. So I would tell Natalie, I would say, hey, Natalie, this is what I want to do. I want to lose the 20 pounds. This is how I'm going to lose it. I've written it down. I'm going to give you a copy of what I'm doing. So then Natalie, when she's chatting with me, could maybe say, you know, how's it going? You know, are you working towards your goal? Have you lost any weight? Or are you watching what you're eating? Okay, so she's somebody that I would tell. Of course, Natalie and I have only met. So I would probably then tell my husband, Michael, who would then ask me the same questions, hopefully, than Natalie would, and, you know, encourage me to lose the weight. Okay, then I would break it down. Okay, so how do you break down your goal? Well, I can't wake up on a Sunday morning and say I'm going to lose 20 pounds by Monday. I mean, oh, I think somebody's coming in. Jaleesa?
Yes.
Hi, Jaleesa.
Thank you for joining us.
Is her mic on?
It looks like her mic is
not on.
Muted. It's not connected to audio, it looks like.
But I'll just continue.
Yes, and I'll just let her know that she can put any questions into the chat area, and we'll also be welcome to answer any questions at the end as well.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So Jalissa has arrived, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. So she's not going to really speak. She'll just message us.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So Jalissa, just to catch you up, honey, and she can hear me, Natalie. She can definitely hear me. Okay. Just to catch you up, we're talking about a goal, and we're talking about how to set an effective goal. So you have to decide what the goal is. You have to write it down. You have to tell someone, and you have to break it down. So I'm saying my goal is to lose 20 pounds. I'm not now because I'm kind of thin, but this was like years and years ago. So I decided, I wrote it down. I told someone, I told my husband, Michael, I told Natalie, so hopefully she'll chat with me and ask me how it's going. And I have to break it down because I can't lose 20 pounds from a Sunday to a Monday. So how am I going to do that? Well, I would start breaking it down. Maybe I would start walking a little bit, maybe walking from my apartment building to the end of the street, and do that for a week. Then the second week I would get up and maybe walk to the second corner. So I would do the first corner and the second corner. Then by the third week, I could do the third corner. So by the end of the fourth week, that's a month, I'll be walking 4 corners. And I kind of said, wow, I could really do this. You know what I mean? So it's not starting at once. You have to break it down. You have to plan your first step. So my first step would, of course, be to try to exercise and also to get the food that's not really good out of my refrigerator. So I would kind of do both. I would keep it moving. Every day I would get up and I would look at my sheet and do something else to try to make sure I'm on the right path. And once I got to the second corner, I would celebrate. Now, I'm not going to celebrate and have an apple pie with ice cream because that would defeat my whole purpose. But maybe, I don't know, maybe a cookie, you know, just one, if you could do that. Or maybe celebrate and call Natalie and say, hey, Natalie, you want to go to lunch? And then, of course, when I went to lunch, I would walk to lunch and eat a very healthy lunch. But I would celebrate because I have gotten to the third corner. I've done great, okay? I would have to believe in the process. So yes, I believe that what I'm doing is correct. And my goals are measurable. This is really important. They're attainable, okay? This is really important, sorry. They're realistic, okay? And, sorry. They're realistic and they're timely. Remain accountable, own your goal, make it happen. So my goals are measurable because I can measure walking, how far I'm going, you know, every week and see that I'm making progress. I can look on the scale, you see what I mean? And see, wow, I've gone from 130 to 122. Okay, so I am losing weight. I am not gaining weight. I'm not going up. Okay, so I'm measuring it that way. They're attainable. I'm able to do it. If you can't do it, don't even try to set that goal because you're not going to do it. There have to be something that you could attain. Okay, it has to be something that you know that you're going to see an outcome with, and the outcome will be positive. Are they realistic? Yeah, my goal is realistic because for health reasons, I have to lose the weight. So it is something that I could do, and it's not something that I'm thinking I can't do it. I know I could do it. I just have to set my mind to it. And are they timely? Yes. Every week I'm walking another corner. So I'm pacing myself out. I'm also pacing the food out. I'm putting notes on the refrigerator, which we'll get into in a little bit. So, all right. So to steps for effective goal setting, you have to decide what the goal is. You have to write it down. Always write it down so that you could look at it and you could see it and it stays in your mind. Wow, I'm going to lose the weight. I see it here. I see it there. I see it there. Tell someone. Well, I'm going to tell my husband, Michael, I'm losing it. My sister, Natalie and I talk at least 3 times a week now. We became very good friends. And she'll ask me too, Joyce, how are you doing? Are you still walking? Are you still watching what you're eating? So I have to be accountable like to Natalie because she's asking me, and accountable to my husband, Michael, because he's asking me. And I'm very close to my sister, and I'm sure she would be asking me too. Okay, I'm planning my first step. Yes, I'm going to start to walk to the first corner. I'm going to move. When I get to the third corner, I'm going to feel great and kind of celebrate, but I'm not going to order a cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory down the street. I'm going to do something, maybe go to the park or maybe have a cookie or do something, just a little bit of a celebration. I'm believing in the process. I'm believing in myself. They're measurable, they're attainable, they're realistic, and they're timely. Okay, and I know I could get to the goal because they're attainable. If you can't get to your goal and you don't see that you can get to the final step, don't make it because you're going to get so frustrated. Okay, so an example would be when I was a senior in high school and I had great grades and I had terrible SAT scores, and my goal was to go to Boston University as a freshman. And everybody told me, you'll never get in. Your scores, your SATs are too low. And that's true. I did everything in my power to reach that goal. And I should have never done that because that was unattainable. Okay, so I got in when I was a junior because I transferred in after going to a 2-year college. And then my grades were really good and my SATs were a lot better. Okay, so I was able to reach the goal. But at first I wasn't. And that frustrated me. And everybody told me and I knew their standards and I probably shouldn't have gone for it. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So I was setting myself up to fail. Really, that's what I was doing. Okay, so with this, I don't think Jalissa is, Jalissa, do you have any questions so far?
Not at the time. I'm actually really enjoying some of the things that you're saying already. It's kind of helping me to reorganize some of my plans because I feel like some of my most recent goals have been a little out there. And it's just helping me be a little bit more realistic.
So tell me about a goal that you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been in Carlisle for about 6 years.
Okay.
And when I first came here, I completed beauty school. I ended up being an apprentice and just working my way up. And eventually I opened up my own business. I opened up a salon.
Oh,
And
wow.
thanks. It was during the pandemic that I discovered oh my goodness, I was not prepared for an emergency. I was just thinking, oh, this is wonderful. I want to open a business. Yay. There, I have supporters. It's going to work out perfectly. Not so much. I didn't know enough about business or, and investing. I was not really ready for the pandemic at all, let alone an emergency. So, of course, me being a dreamer, I'm like, oh, the next thing I want to do is open a school. I want to open up a beauty school. Seemed very obtainable with some of the classes that I was taking and just seeing other people succeed. But there are just so many other things that come along with trying to open up a school. And I feel like lately I've just kind of been bogged down about, I'm like, oh, this didn't work out. This didn't work out. But I think that I have some goals that are a little bit more obtainable, and I should probably focus on those things first and then work on the school stuff later.
Definitely, definitely. And I think maybe you jumped too fast and you didn't research everything that went into it. You know what I mean? I think the goal was attainable, Jalissa. I just don't think you saw all the steps leading up to it. You know, that's what I think. I think you went from A to K, and you just should have gone maybe through B, C, D, E, F. You see what I mean? To try to get there. Like, yeah. But you certainly tried. You know, I just think if you broke them down a little bit more, you might have been, been a little bit more successful.
True.
Yeah, that's what I think. But never give up on your dream. Never, ever.
Thank you.
Ever. Listen, Jalissa, I never thought anybody would hire me to do this. This was like what I really wanted to do. I love the training part. And for so long, I just didn't have the confidence that I could do it, and I just started very small, and I, just went from step to step to step to step. And I remember the first person that hired me, I thought, maybe I didn't hear her right. Maybe she's saying, but yeah. And then from there, I kind of took off. But it's, it's baby steps until you get to where you want to go. But it has to be something that you could attain, because if you can't attain it, don't try for it, because it's going to frustrate you. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Natalie, what about you? Since you're here, any goals that you have tried for and?
I mean, very small ones, I guess, are trying to grow a tomato plant.
Oh, okay. That's kind of,
yeah. And I mean, I'm seeing that there is like a little tiny little seed sprouting, which is nice to see.
So that's something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And making sure to water it, either like daily or every other day, and seeing like whether it's growing enough or not, getting watered. And
so in your mind, it is going to grow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're taking kind of baby steps with the food and watering it and watching it, okay? But your goal is to see that it definitely works out and it definitely grows, okay?
Yeah, and I think also like with, I mean, there is like sunlight usually around, and sometimes when there isn't enough sun, I try to like put like a lamp on it, to like act as that.
To make it go, okay. Yeah. Does that help?
Yeah, I think it like sees it as something like sunlight, so then it starts to grow. Yeah.
Okay. And one other thing I wanted to check with you, and then I'm going to go back to Natalie. Jalissa, when you were doing all of your things with your beauty school and the your salon, did you tell anybody you were going to do this? Did you have somebody that was supportive of you while you were doing this? And she's still here. She's still on now. Or is she, Jalissa, you there?
Yes. Hi, I'm here.
Okay. Question for you: when you were when you were trying to open up your school and your salon, did you tell people you were going to do this? Did you let people know so that they could be supportive?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I did things a little differently this time.
Okay.
When it came to like the school, I was asking, and like I basically talked to people who are professionals about it. Instead of just like friends and family, because I mean, no one else in my family has ever opened up a school. So they didn't have that background.
Right. So somebody professionally would be able to guide you more.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So when you set your goals, you want to set clear goals. Be clear and very specific with what you want to achieve. Take one goal at a time. So again, if Natalie is looking to grow the tomato plant, was I right about that? The plant?
Yeah, like little
Okay.
tomatoes.
Okay, she's going to be very clear and very specific. This is what I want to do. I want to see that it grows. If Jalissa wants to open up that school, she's going to go one step at a time, and she's going to be very clear and very specific with what she wants to achieve. And I think you have to break the goal down into steps. This will be easier than looking at the entire goal. So if you come back to me for losing weight, like I can't wake up on a Sunday and say I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I mean, God forbid I got sick. Maybe that would be the only way it would happen. But I want to break it down. I want to start exercising. I want to start removing food from my refrigerator that's not really good for me, like cheesecake and all the ice cream that I have in there. And, you know, basically I want to start, you know, going to the gym. So I want to break things down into steps. And very important, guys, you want to track your progress. Even if your progress is not as fast as you would like, it's progress. So again, if Jalissa wants to open up that that beauty school and it's going really slow, maybe the people that are helping her aren't getting back to her, she's not really getting anywhere with the loans, the financial part, but she is getting somewhere with the site because she knows where it wants to be. I'm just making this up, Jalissa. So, you know, even if the progress is not as fast as she would like, it's still progress. So with me getting on the scale, even if I go from 130 to 128, I'm thinking, oh my God, I should be at 120 already. I'm like not eating the, you know, what I was eating. I'm exercising. It's so slow. It is slow, but it's still progress. It's better than me going up to 132, right? It's better than I'm going down, even if it is slow. Okay, also know what your weakness is. Be honest with yourself. So if I know that it's too much for me to walk the extra block and maybe I should just do that once every 2 weeks, increase it instead of every 1 week, that's what I have to do. I have to be honest with myself because the other way it's taking too much out of me. So you have to be honest with yourself, even if you're trying to reach the goal and you're not getting anywhere and you say to yourself, you know, I'm wondering if this is really what I want. You yourself have to answer that question. You have to be accountable and make sure you follow through. And here's what's great. So you have to be, this is where it's really important to have a friend or to have somebody in your family, or we spoke about with Jalissa, to have somebody in the professional setting to hold you accountable for what you're doing. You know, hey, Natalie, are you watering it? Are you giving it the right amount of light? Are you giving it the right amount of food? You know, hey, Jalissa, are you working with people that really know how to open up a beauty school? Do you know all the financial parts about it? Are you sure the site that you picked is going to be conducive to what you want to do? Okay, and these people will hold you accountable because they're going to ask you questions about your goal. Okay, and then this is the part I love most about your goal. Have fun. Achieving a goal is hard work. Take the time to have some type of fun in obtaining your goal. So if you, like Jalissa, I'm sure when you opened your salon, my God, that must have been great. You know, and it's a lot of hard work. So you have to celebrate. You have to celebrate yourself for actually getting out there and trying. Okay, does that make sense? Kind of? Okay. Yes. Okay, so you want to be clear and specific. You want to break the goal down in steps. You want to track your progress. You want to know what your weakness is. You always want to be honest with yourself. You want to be accountable and you want to have fun. So you want to celebrate the good times. Maybe I didn't get to losing the 20 pounds, but I got to losing 10 pounds. I mean, that's terrific considering I started and now I'm down 10 instead of up 10. So I should celebrate that. And even if maybe one day I go up 2 pounds, who cares? I know I'm going to eventually go down again. You see what I mean? I know my weaknesses. I get really discouraged quickly, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be honest with myself and say, you know what, Joyce, you can do it. It is possible. Just keep on the same track, because you're not going to have every day where it's going to go up, 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 up. There are going to be days when it's going to go down, 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 down. So you have to kind of, you know, prepare yourself for that. Okay. So, Ms. Jalissa, any questions?
Not at the time, just taking notes.
Ah, you're such a good girl. Okay. Natalie, any questions so far?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I know that you also mentioned, you know, like how there will be days when it is, you know, increasing in progress and other days where it's decreasing. Like, so how do you go about like getting back on track when that happens?
Okay, so I can give you a great story. Okay, so when I was unemployed, there were days when everybody answered my phone calls, and I felt like, oh my God, I'm going to get to that goal. I'm going to get hired. And then the next 3 days, I kept checking my phone for the dial tone, thinking, how is it not ringing? You know, I sent all these resumes. I think it's just really having the confidence in yourself that you're going to do it and not getting discouraged. You know, and that's where it comes in, where if you could talk to somebody, if you have a sister, a partner, a friend, or somebody that really believes in you, you know, talk to them and say, you know, I'm so discouraged. Yesterday was such a great day, and today I feel like I'm back where I was 4 days ago. I think it's really important to have that kind of support system. And it's almost like having a cheerleader. You know, remember in high school when you used to cheer? Well, I did. I always wanted to be a cheerleader. I never could make it. But it's always important to have somebody in your life that will cheer for you and support you and say to you, you know, you could do it. You just have to keep trying. Okay. And when I first started going into doing this, I don't know if you heard Jalissa in the beginning, but when Natalie had introduced me, I was an employment specialist. So I did that for 15 years. And then I just didn't want to do it anymore. I wanted to go out on my own. And I figured, who is going to hire me? I can't do this on my own. And it was so discouraging for me at first. Nobody called me back. Nobody emailed me. And I know a lot of people that could have really helped me. And they just, well, some said, you know, Joyce, I'm going to try for you and blah, 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 blah. But I remember looking at my husband, Michael, and saying, forget it. I'm not going to do this. Nobody's answering any of my calls. And he says, you have to keep trying. You know, this is your goal. This is what you want to do. One person will start to hire you. And then when one person hires you, you'll get to 2, you get to 3. I said, 3? I can't even get to 1. He said, you know, and yeah, that's really the truth. I was so discouraged. Okay. And I knew my goal, and I certainly didn't jump into it right away. I broke it down. I wrote it down. I did everything I said I'm doing now. And, you know, I just listened to Michael, and I kind of believed in myself that somebody would give me a shot, and they did, you know, and from there I went on to get hired at different places, and she became, I adore her. She's still in my life. And I remember when she first hired me, and I said, are you kidding? And she said, no, I'm really going to hire you for 5 workshops. I said, did Mike, I really thought Michael paid her, because I was so discouraged. And she said, nope, I'm going to, you know, what I did was I did a pro bono workshop at the Y, hoping to get hired there, and they didn't want to pay me, blah, 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 blah. And she saw me do it. And she had a nonprofit. And she said, Joyce, I have 30 girls, and they're all looking for work. I'd love for you to come and do this. And I said, okay. And I really thought it was for free. And she says, no, I'm going to pay you. Tell me how much you want. You know, so I started really low because I was afraid that, you know, that I didn't want to go higher because I was afraid she'd say, forget it. But that's how I started. And that's how I got and then I knew from there on I could do it. Okay. So I guess that what I'm saying is you have to believe in yourself, and you have to be your own cheerleader, and you have to get somebody in there that's going to support you. Yeah. Okay. So with Jalissa, with opening up her own school, she would need people that have actually probably opened up their own school before to support her with that and to help her from step to step to step. You see what I mean? Because there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. But really, guys, you have to believe in yourself. Okay. Did that answer your question? I know I went a little off. Did it?
Yeah. I think that's, you know, it's just having you know, people to support you and be there, and also, yeah, believing in that that you can achieve the goal and, you know, break it down to small, actionable, attainable steps. Mhm.
Okay, good. Okay. And Jalissa, are you okay? Okay to go on?
Yes, your story is amazing. Thanks for sharing that.
Oh my God, I can tell you so many more of my stories, okay? But that's a true story. I didn't think anybody would hire me. That's Michael. He's around the corner now. I don't know what he's doing. Hopefully something productive. But he would say to me, don't give up. I said, well, do you hear the phone ringing? He said, no. I said, do you see anybody emailing me? No. I said, then nobody's interested. He says, there is somebody interested. You just have to find them. And by luck, I went to the Y that day. And wait, this is the best part of the story, and then we'll go on. The person that first gave me my chance, I adore her, love her, love her, love her, love her. She became, listen to this, CEO of the Broward Housing Authority. So I live in Broward County in Fort Lauderdale. So she's in charge. She does the trainings for all the people in Broward County in housing. Okay. So when she contacted me about 6 weeks ago, she said, Joyce, I'm going to hire you for at least 6 workshops. I mean, how great is that? You see, so, you know, was it luck? Yeah, it was luck, but it was a goal also. I knew I wanted to do this, and did I want to give up? Yes, many, many times. Many times. And I'm not getting paid. It's not like I'm working for somebody where I have to keep going. You know what I mean? I'm working for myself and I'm not seeing any money in. So that's, you know, it like all plays in. Okay. So why is setting a goal so important? Setting goals helps you to trigger new behaviors, helps to guide your focus, and helps you to sustain that solid momentum in your life. Goals also help you align your focus and promote a sense of self-accomplishment. In the end, you cannot manage what you don't measure, and you can't improve upon something that you don't properly manage. So I think that's great. So in the end, you cannot manage what you don't measure, and you can't improve upon something that you don't properly manage. So to be successful, check your goals and have these components as part of your plan. Okay, and we spoke about this. Believe in yourself and your goal. Trust yourself. So you have to really believe that you could do that. Okay, so Natalie has to believe that that plant will one day grow and flourish and be great, and she will then have other plants that will follow that plant, and she'll have a whole garden one day. And of course, Jalissa's going to say, I will open up a school and I will help so many people that want to go into cosmetology, and this is my dream, okay? So if you believe in yourself and your goal and you trust yourself, well, you're halfway there. And this is the best part. So we're going to do this together. Visualize what you want. Close your eyes and think about it. See it, feel it, smell it. So I can see Natalie. I can't see Jalissa. So I'm hoping Jalissa tells us the truth. So I want you guys to close your eyes for 2 minutes or 2 seconds. And I want you to visualize what you want. And I want you to smell it, to see it, to think about it, to feel it, and just this is something that you really want, okay? And visualization is great. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute to do that. Okay, it's a minute up. You keep putting your eyes closed. Just don't fall asleep on me, guys. Okay, Jalissa, we're going to start with you. What did you visualize when you closed your eyes?
Oh, a few things.
Okay.
I feel like this wonderful, like inspirational sensation being at the school and away from the school. Just know that creative, innovative energy runs through me every single day as I go to the school and I meet all the prospective students and I talk to the staff and realize like the vision has actually come true.
Is that a great feeling?
Opportunity.
Yeah, and all the people that you helped that walk through that door, that's the best part of it, that you really encourage people to do what they want to do. Now, let me ask you a question. When you visualize this, where were you? What city were you in? What did the building look like?
I was here in Carlisle. And this is building I've been looking at.
Okay. And how far from, okay, where is Carlisle? Tell me where that is.
Are you familiar with Harrisburg, Pennsylvania?
No, I went to camp in Waymore, Pennsylvania, Honesdale. Oh my God, Catskills. I'm familiar more with the Catskills.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
I'm not even familiar with that. So that's a place I might have to go visit. That should be a goal for me.
Oh, the Catskills are great. Oh wait, the Catskills are upstate New York. I don't think
Yeah.
it's in Pennsylvania. Yeah, but I went to camp in the Cats. But I also went to camp in Honesdale, Waymore, Pennsylvania. My brother-in-law's family lives in Philly. Yeah, so I'm kind of familiar with that. Okay, so when you were visualizing this, the building that you were visualizing there's an actual building, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how far from your house is that?
Possibly like a half of a mile.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay. And did you see it? When you saw it, you saw people in there and people actually working and teachers teaching and all of that?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so that's just what you have to do, Jalissa. You got to keep visualizing that. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay, what about you, Miss Natalie? Tell me about your plant. Did you?
So I just saw like this like warm sunlight like around me, I guess, and I was in my room because I have the plant in my room at home.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Okay.
And I could see it. I could see like each little seedling, like, slowly growing up into like this really, beautiful plant, and then like all the little tomatoes growing, and just like feeling like a sense of achievement and fulfillment from doing that.
Of course, because you saw it as like a nothing, and then you gave it all of this stuff, and that's great. Okay, guys, so visualization is very important. Okay, make sure you document what you see. So, in other words, when Natalie's looking at the plan, she's going to document it and say, well, this is what I'm looking at. And Jalissa, you're going to document, of course, what you visualized also. Ask about your goal. Does it have a purpose? Are you ready to go after it? You're always going to stay focused and concentrate. You're going to have a plan of action ready, and you're going to start it now in the present, and you're going to begin to put it together. So in other words, if you say, okay, this is my goal, I'm going to start it in 2 weeks. Well, I hate to tell you something. 2 weeks become a month becomes 3 months, 3 months becomes half a year, and then what happens to 2022? It's half over already, okay? And you haven't even gotten your goal. So no, you want to start it in the present. You want to keep moving, okay? So you want to believe in yourself. You want to visualize. You want to document what you see. You want to make sure your goal has a purpose, and both of your goals definitely have a purpose. And you want to make sure you're ready to go after it. And you have to be in a good frame of mind to go after it. So you can't be sad about something, or something's not going right in your life and you're more focused on that. You have to be, okay, so if I'm going to lose weight, I have to make sure I'm ready to do that. I can't say, well, I'm going to try on Monday and then Tuesday I'm going to go back to eating the cheesecake. Okay, I have to say, no, I'm ready. I'm going to start today, or maybe tomorrow morning. I'll eat that little piece of cheesecake tonight and then start in the morning. But and I'm gonna focus, and I'm gonna concentrate, and I'm gonna have a plan of action ready. This is where I'm gonna walk. This is what I'm gonna do with the refrigerator. I'm gonna throw out all the bad food. I'm gonna put notes up there. Don't open unless you're gonna eat something healthy. That's what I used to do. And then I figured, I'm not gonna eat anything healthy. I might as well close the refrigerator. Okay, and I'm gonna start it now in the present, and I'm gonna begin to put it together, because if I don't start it now and I procrastinate, it's not going to get done. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move on because I see the time goes so fast. Miss Natalie or Miss Jalissa, do you have any questions so far? Miss nothing? Natalie?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay. Jalissa, any questions?
Oh, not at the time. Thank you.
Okay. So I love this this quote. Without goals and plans to reach them, you are like a ship that has set sail with no destination in mind. So if you don't have a goal and you don't have a plan, you are like a ship in the middle of the Atlantic going round and round and round and round, okay? Because it doesn't have any destination. It doesn't have anywhere to go. So you want a plan, you want a goal, you want to know where you're going to start, where you're going to go in the middle, and where you're going to end up, okay? If you want, and again, if you want to succeed, you need to set goals. Without setting goals, you lack focus and direction. You will have no destination in mind, and you'll just float, getting nothing accomplished. Goal setting not only allows you to take control of your life's direction, but it also provides you a direction for seeing whether or not you're actually succeeding. Yeah, so going after a goal gives you a lot of confidence, especially if you achieve it, that you succeeded. Like when I do these workshops now, I think, my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. I actually succeeded in what I wanted to do, which is, even if I don't get hired by anybody after Natalie, at least I got hired by Natalie. And I got hired by some people before her, and I'm doing really well. But I succeeded, and that to me is tremendous, okay? To accomplish your goals, you need to know how to set them. You can't simply say, I want, and expect them to suddenly happen. Goal setting is a process that starts with careful consideration of what you want to achieve and ends with a lot of hard work to actually accomplish your goal, okay? So that's why, excuse me, that's why they have something called SMART goals, okay? Goals should be powerful as well as smart. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, okay? So SMART goals, so again, goals should be powerful as well as smart. So SMART stands for specific, so it has to be a specific, measurable, you have to be able to measure it, attainable, it has to be something that you could get, relevant, it has to be something that's realistic, and time-bound. I mean, you can't say 7 years from now. You want to make sure that it's in a good time frame. Okay, so specific goals. Your goals must be clear and well defined. Don't make them vague, as they won't have direction. You need goals to show you the way and give you direction. Make it easy to get to that goal. Find out where you want to go by defining where you want to end up. So it has to be specific. And you can't have 10 or 11 goals. It has to be like one goal. It has to be clear. It has to be well defined. And it can't be vague, because then it's not going to have any direction. You're going to be here, there, and everywhere, okay? You need goals to show you the way and give you direction. And you want to make it easy to get to the goal. So if I want to lose weight, I know how to get there. I know to exercise. I know to take bad things out of my refrigerator. I know to start eating 3 meals a day. Maybe instead of eating the cookies, I can have a protein bar. So my goal is pretty specific. This is what I want to do. Okay, you also want to measure your goals. Include precise amounts, dates with your goals. In this manner, you can measure your degree of success. If your goal says, I want to reduce expenses, how will you know when you've been successful? Without a way to measure your success, you miss out on knowing if you have achieved something. So you want to measure it. You want to make sure that you know the amounts, the days, the dates. You want to measure your degree of success. So if I'm trying to lose weight, I'm going to put in the dates of what I did, the days that I walked, how much I weighed. Like maybe I don't want to weigh myself every day, maybe every third day. Okay, so I will see that they're measurable. Okay, and with Natalie's plant, she could definitely see that easy because she's watering it, she's feeding it, she's showing sunlight. And Jalissa, with you too, you could see if they're measurable, if people are starting to help you, if you're getting financial assistance, if you're, you're seeing that, wow, some of the goals of getting that school together are coming together. You're measuring them. Attainable, okay? That's the third letter of SMART. Make sure that it is possible to achieve the goals you set. If you set a goal that you have no hope of achieving, it will set you back and you will lose confidence. You will get discouraged. Don't set goals that are too easy. Set realistic and challenging goals that give you the balance. These are the goals that bring you the greatest personal satisfaction. So for attainable, you want to make sure that you will be able to reach that goal. Okay, so if you feel, oh my God, I'll never get there, don't go for it. Go for something that you're pretty sure that you could get to. I mean, you're not going to get to it tomorrow, but you're pretty sure that if you work hard enough, that you will get there. So I think if Jalissa works hard enough, she will see that the school is attainable, that she could open that. And if Natalie works hard enough, she'll see that she could raise that plan to be, you know, really blossoming and to get some more in there. Okay, you want your goal to be relevant. Goals should be relevant to the direction you want in your life and career to take. If your goals stay relevant, you will develop the focus you need to get ahead and do what you want. Make sure your goals are not scattered. So they can't be over here, over there, over anywhere. They have to be, you know, specific in front of you. You have to make sure that you're able to see them. They have to be relevant. They have to be something that's realistic. Okay, and time-bound goals. Your goals must have a deadline. I think this is the most important part. Again, this means you know when you can really have that sense of success. When you are working on a deadline, your sense of urgency increases and achievement will come quicker. So I'm saying in a month's time, I want to lose 10 pounds. So I am setting a deadline, okay? I am saying that in a month, I will do that. Now, let's say in a month, I lose 8 pounds and I don't lose the 10. Well, it was close enough. You know, I almost reached that. But let's say in a month I don't lose anything. Well, then there's something wrong with my goal here. You know, I'm going to have to kind of reevaluate it because that's not what I want. If you don't have a timeline, you could go on forever, and that's not what you want. So you want to kind of make some kind of deadline. So for Natalie, maybe by the summer, she would like to see maybe 3 plans do as well as the first plan. Jalissa maybe is saying, well, it's April, I'm working on it, I'm talking to people, I have the, you know, I'm trying to get the finances going, maybe, you know, in the fall or very close to the beginning of 2023. You know, just as long as you know when you want to do it, okay? So, oh my God, okay, so you want to do SMART goals. You want to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, okay? And that's definitely spells out SMART. Okay, any questions so far? I'm kind of talking fast because the time is moving too fast. Natalie, Jalissa, anything so far? You're both okay? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Here are 5 great rules that will help you to set some important goals in your life. Okay, this is really important. Set goals that motivate you. When you set goals for yourself, it is important that they motivate you. This means making sure these goals are important to you and there is value in achieving them. If you are not interested in the outcome, then chances of you putting in the work to make them happen would be very slim. Motivation is the key to achieving goals. Right, so if I wasn't motivated to lose weight, I forget it. I'm not going to set a goal because I'm going to continue eating the cheesecake. I'm not going to exercise. I'm not going to do anything to help myself. Okay. But if I'm motivated enough because I'm going to maybe my husband Michael's niece's wedding and I want to look great in this black dress, that would motivate me to lose the weight. You have to be motivated. It has to be something you really want. Okay. Set goals in writing. And this is so important. Write down your goal as it makes your goal real. You have no excuse for forgetting about it. As you write down, use the word will instead of would like to or might. So I will do this. I will lose weight. I will continue walking. I will throw out the cheesecake in my refrigerator and not eat it. Write your goal statement positive. Make a list of goals you want to accomplish. Post these goals in visible places to remind yourself every day of what you want to do. Put them on your walls, desk, computer, monitor, bathroom mirror, or refrigerator as a constant reminder. Definitely get Post-its and put them all over, you know, and that's what I did when I wanted to lose weight. I put it on my refrigerator, I put it on my night table, I put it in my pocketbook when I went to work. No, you're not going to eat that for lunch, you know, and if I put it in writing, I was more likely to do it. And at that time, there was no, you know, technology wasn't what it is today, so I certainly couldn't put it in my phone. But hey, you know, if that works, put it in your phone, whatever works, or email it to yourself, you know. But I would put it down. Definitely, I wouldn't use the technology, and I would write it down because you're more likely to do it if it's written down. Okay, make an action plan. Sometimes when you set your goals, you get so focused on the outcome that you forget to plan all of the steps needed along the way. By writing out individual steps and then crossing each one off as you complete it, you will realize that you are making progress towards your goal. So make a plan. So again, I would write it down, and maybe Natalie would say, well, today I'm going to put a little bit more food in there, or I'm going to give it a little bit more sunlight. And then when she does it, she could cross it off. Jalissa, well, today I'm going to call, my friend Harvey over at the beauty school in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I don't know if this is right. And, talk to him about, maybe he can help me with some plans for my school. So you want to make an action plan. You want to write down the things that you want to do. And then after you do it, you want to cross it off. And if you see it, you're more likely to be motivated to continue doing it. And that's why I think it's really important to write things down. And the most important thing is stick with it. Remember, goal setting is an ongoing activity. Build in reminders to keep yourself on track and make regular time slots available to review your goals. Of course, you can get frustrated, but do not give up. Your goal is attainable and you have to keep trying. Goal setting is much more than saying you want something to happen. You have to define what you want, understand why you want it in the first place. And it's something that you could daydream about when you visualize it, but it's something that you could go after. And again, don't wait until 6 months to do it. No, you want that goal, you start it right away. And you plan it and go after it, because what's going to happen if you're going to say, oh, tomorrow I'll work with my plans. I'm too busy today in the library, or tomorrow I'll lose weight. I don't want to do it today. Today I'm going to eat my cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory. Or Jalissa will say, well, you know what? Next week I'll try to get in touch with the people that own beauty schools in the Harrisburg area. Not today. Okay, so what happens? Tomorrow becomes tomorrow, becomes tomorrow, becomes tomorrow, and you're in 2023 and you haven't done anything, okay? So make it happen now. Start it, go through the steps, and get to the end. And then when you get to the end, celebrate, because you've done great. You succeeded in actually going after what you wanted, okay? Are there any questions? Because I have a couple of minutes left and I want to read you these quotes. Natalie, any questions?
I'm good.
Jalissa, anything?
I do have a question about when you said that, like, goal setting, that's basically like an ongoing activity. And then I remember you saying something along the lines of, like, make time slots to review your goals.
Right.
So, like, what does that look like? Is that just something that, like, randomly happens throughout the day? Like, oh yeah, let me just, like, run through my planner. Or is it like, hey, this time, 4 o'clock tonight, I'm going to look over my goals? Like, how does that look?
I think it's just what you said. I think you have to make the time. You have to write it down and say, at 4 o'clock, this is what I'm going to do. Because if you don't write it down and you don't do it, you're not going to do it. That's what I think. And you'll make it for tomorrow. So you have to put you have to make certain time slots. Remember with SMART, time bound. You have to make sure that you have a time frame on it, or you're not going to do it. Do you see what I mean? So if I knew that I'm not going to walk that extra block next week, and I didn't write it down, I probably wouldn't do it. But if I say to myself, by next Friday, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to walk to the next corner, not the first or the second corner, the third corner, I would probably be more likely to do it. So if you write it down and you keep that time on paper, and you look at it and you read it, you'll do it. So if you say, Jalissa, like, tomorrow I'm going to call Mrs. Harvey at 11 o'clock and find out maybe if she could do some work, if she knows people that could help me, whatever, you do that at 11 o'clock. And if she doesn't answer your call, okay, so you put down, I tried, we'll call her back later. And then you make sure that you do call her back later and write that down. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because eventually she will call you back. That's what I'm thinking. If you call or if you email her. But if you don't write it down, you're not going to do it. You're more likely to do it if it's written down. And you know, when people say, well, I'll put it in my phone. Well, you know what? Okay, if you want to do that, you know, I understand that because most people, you know, are more, are into technology. I think by writing it down, you're more likely to do it. You know how many stuff is in my phone I don't do? But if it's in my calendar, I was just telling Natalie that at the beginning. If it's in my calendar and I see it, I know I have to do it, and I do it. Okay, so it's really important to write it down and to stick to that time. Okay, I'll give you an example. So I'm doing a workshop in Hingham, Mass. Next Thursday, job searching. So I wrote in my calendar for Monday, don't forget to email Lou about the Zoom link, because, you know, if I don't have a link, I can't do it. And then I thought, you know, it's 10 after 10, it's 10, yeah, quarter after 10, Natalie's not on yet. I'm gonna do it now. So I did it, and then I went back and I wrote down, I don't have to do it, I already did it. You see what I mean, Jalissa? So it's there, I see it, and yeah, so I would say definitely write it down and keep to the time, okay?
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah, definitely, because you're not going to do it otherwise. That's really what I think. Okay, I know it's 12 o'clock, but let me just tell you some goal quotes that I found that are great. Okay, I think they're motivating, and some of these are really powerful. Okay, if you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. The trouble with not having a goal is that you could spend your life running up and down the field and never score. I love that. Okay, so you're not going anywhere. You know, you just keep going back like the ship that's destined to go nowhere. It's important to set your goals and work hard to achieve them. If you set goals and go after them with all the determination you can master your gifts, and they will take you places that will amaze you. Okay, and that's so true. Let's see. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. Okay. You should set goals beyond your reach so you can always have something to live for. I like that. Okay, that was Ted Turner. Let's see. Wait, I have another one here that I'd like to. One way to keep momentum going is to constantly have greater goals. A goal properly set is halfway reached. You know, that's so true. So if you set it, and you know, and you write it down and you follow those SMART goals, you know, you're halfway there. And that's the greatest feeling in the world, to be able to say, my God, that was my goal and I did it. I have that school, you know, I did it. I see them learning, and God, that must be the greatest feeling, Alyssa. So when you open that school, you got to call me.
Oh, I absolutely will. And I'm just thinking, oh my goodness, like the students would benefit from hearing you speak.
Oh, thank you. That is so nice. Thank you so much. That's such a nice compliment. And Natalie, I will want to look at that garden, honey. So you have to take a lot of pictures of that garden.
I will.
But you know, honestly, guys, I think if you stick with it and you write it down and you know in your heart you could attain it, and you get a cheerleader, somebody that could cheer for you. You know, I'm, you know, very lucky. I'm married to my husband, Michael, for a very long time. And he's really been my cheerleader. There are things that I never thought I could do. And he kept saying, look, Joyce, if you don't try, you're not going to do it. They will call you back, you know. And I used to say, well, you hear the phone ring. You know, I told you hear the phone ring, you see the emails. Well, you know, they're missing out. Well, apparently, you know, but until that first break came, I was going to give up. And I set my goal, and I thought it was measurable, and I knew I could attain it. And if I didn't get the business, really, you know, how can I really achieve my goal? That's kind of what I thought about. But you know what? I just work at it, and I work really hard at it every day. And you know, and that's what I said to Natalie. Natalie, I said, even if one person shows up and one person learns something from my workshop, then I've achieved my goal. Then it's the best feeling in the world, you know? So thank you, Jalissa, for coming. Natalie had to be here.
Thank you, everyone.
And I hope you come back next week for the customer service.
Yes,
I will be there.
Yes, I hope you do. And so I'll see you next week. I'm not even going to say goodbye. And I hope you learned something.
I did so much. I really appreciate the time that both of you ladies took out of your day to like share and enlighten. And I really got a lot out of it because when you said that like goals will help like change your habits, that's really huge and groundbreaking for me. So thank you.
Oh, definitely. But I think you already have a vision. And I think once you have the vision and you can visualize what you want, I think you could, you'll go after it. And I think you have the right way of going after it too, getting people involved that have already done that. You know what I mean? That have already opened a school, that already would know the different procedures that were there. And that's the most important part. To have that kind of support and to have that kind of that kind of cheerleading that'll say, Jalissa, you can do it. Just keep working at it. Keep trying to attain that goal. And that comes from within you. I think you have to have that kind of confidence too, and I just did a workshop on confidence. I just put that together because confidence is everything, and everybody, some people, they say, they come across as really confident people, but inside they're probably just like me that lose their confidence a lot. And that's kind of important to have that, with the motivation also, because if you're not motivated to reach your goal, you're not going to do it. So if I'm not motivated to lose weight, there's no way I'm going to do it. I have to be motivated. I have to want to see the end of it. You see what I mean? Yeah, that's what it is. All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you. And we'll also have this recording on our YouTube channel, as well as on Facebook and Instagram, and also mention it on Twitter as well.
Okay.
And we'll have that in this coming week. And Jalissa, thank you very much, and Joyce as well.
Of course. Thank you, Jalissa, for coming. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you.
And don't forget to come back next week because I'm doing customer service, and that's really good. And that's Jalissa you're going to really need in your school. So come back to that. Yeah, definitely. And I will see you, Miss Natalie, next Saturday. You'll send me the link during the week.
Yes, I will.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys, have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.